Pardon the hair. I just got off of work and I just picked this out. Just bear with me here. All right. So earlier this month, I decided to take it upon myself to learn how to swim. I always told myself I'm trying to do these, trying to accomplish all of the goals and all the things I always wanted to do before I die, which I don't know, could be soon, right? And one of those things was I always wanted to know how to swim. So one of these days, signed up for it, and I literally just took my first class yesterday. And I won't lie to y'all, I'm not great at it, but I'm getting better. Or at least I like to think I am. It's very invigorating. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I did not think like I went from not swimming to basically getting the form down and just needing to know how to float. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I went up in there thinking I was just gonna humiliate myself and look like a total moron in front of some complete strangers, and it turned out that that wasn't the case. So I, it feels good. It really does. Like I did not think I was gonna be this hype and this excited to almost swim, not swim, almost swim. Oh my goodness. Um, Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit is I would not have known about these swimming lessons if not for my roommate telling me about it after he found out about it from the library. One thing I kind of noticed, when I was living in Georgia, when I was living in California and the is that one of the very common complaints that people have when it comes to living in a small town is there's nothing to do, man. There's nothing to do, and I noticed that there's a lot to do in small towns. There's if you go on the if you go to your city's website, or if you go to your city's website, they practically give you a list of things you can do throughout the week, month, year, or whatever, and sometimes a lot of those things be for free. It's crazy how the community actually does provide things to actually have something to do throughout the day to at least sort of pass the time. And if that's not the case, one thing I'm starting to enjoy doing is just going over to the park and just looking, just looking at the wildlife, looking at the trees. So one thing I like to do sometimes is I like to see leaves fall out of trees, and sort of guess which one's gonna hit the ground first. I'm wrong almost every time. But the fact of the matter is that that's just something to do. It's just there is stuff to do, and the problem is that so many people are so fixated on I don't think people even know what they want to do. So because they don't know what they want to do, they basically get upset that there's options available, and none of these are fun. Shoot, I tell you this much, man. The most fun I ever had so far was just yesterday. Well, I went underwater and I actually kind of swam for a moment. I mean, I had a pool noodle underneath me to help me float. I'm not embarrassed to say that I can't swim, so I can't float. So I had the pool noodle underneath me to maintain myself. But it's outside of that, it's the fact of the matter is that if I knew how to float, I'd be swimming right about now. So it's so somebody's gonna be coming up to me, you can't swim. I don't care, man. I'm learning now. Um, but it really does kind of make me kind of want to get more involved with the community and stuff like that, to kind of just sort of see specifically what else be going on up in the city that I just don't know about. For all we know, there could be festivals and parties and things of that nature that I could probably just walk into and just have a good time at and not have to worry about, hey buddy, you're not on the list or any crap like that. It's just it's really opening my mind up to this perspective that I just did not think about until recently. Also, I want to take this time to address that I really like the community center that the swimming lessons take place in, because outside of there being this massive pool and a smaller pool where you can go to, there's also a weight room, there's an auditorium, a basketball court. When I was living in Mississippi in a military base with my aunt, I actually used to go to a youth center, and the youth center would have the basketball court, a place where kids can go to play video games. You could buy food from the canteen over there. You could and I want to say upstairs was a swimming pool. I'm not sure. It might have been upstairs. No, a swimming pool upstairs. That sounds like a terrible idea. But it was, I forget how it was built. I forget what it was. but it was an Air Force base, and I was there. And growing up, I have yet to see anything like that since. And I feel like this is probably the closest thing to it. So I thoroughly appreciate and value this place where I can go to not only like learn how to swim, but also get my pump in. You know what I mean? Like get my laps in, get my get my work on, and I have to worry about like it being too expensive or it being too far away or things of that nature. It's like literally right down the road, and I could just walk there. So yeah, that like I can go, I'm ecstatic about the swimming lessons. Like the goal is to learn how to swim, and then ultimately learn how to dive because like as much as I genuinely as much as I really hate not being able to go to training because of the money problems and everything like that, like the goal now is like I said, get diving so I could so that way once I do start training again, I probably might be able to actually start doing my shooting star presses because I've never done a shooting star press before. I always wanted to do three moves off the top rope, a shooting star press, a 630, and yeah, shooting star press and a 630. I think I could do a 450. I don't know if I can do a 450, but if I can't do a 450, a 452. But that's the goal, man. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's the jump and that's the jam. In the meantime, though, I do like I definitely recommend like just going on your city's website, like just checking out what is there to offer because there's a lot that goes on in smaller towns and people care to think about it, care to believe, and it's really and like a lot of it don't cost money. You just have to be in the moment. It's like it's very like I didn't even know about this until the roommate told me about it until I started checking out other stuff that they have it that's available. It's really I really do feel like now is definitely like kind of like a really good time to just sort of in not necessarily invest in small towns but just focus on like what else is there because like maybe things aren't boring, maybe you're just not looking hard enough. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for this new swim class because it's daily, and I gotta get ready to go. Love and peace to every single one of y'all out there. We'll talk later. Man, I am amped.